Donald Trump has just released the UFO files. We'll look at exactly what he has to say of what is being released. This is just the first installment of what is coming. We'll look at some of what they've released, some videos of what they've shown. One that people are already saying looks like an Ophanim angel, wheels within wheels. We'll see what Dr. Avi Loeb had to say about this. We'll also look at a story of an ex-Marine that said that men in black wiped pics of a giant UAP off of his camera, and how they are already setting the stage, telling people we are not the only ones in the universe and we are probably not even at the top of the food chain. We'll start this off with the mainstream media mocking what is going on with Trump's UFO file release.
The Department of Defense has released hundreds of never-before-seen files on UFOs. This is part of President Trump's effort to increase transparency on government knowledge of possible extraterrestrial activity. Here are some of the new pictures on the Department of Defense's website. It includes one image from the Apollo 17 mission to the moon. Can't quite make this out.
I have no idea what I'm
it's basically, apparently it appears to show lights above the lunar surface.
Here's what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social about the UFO files. As for my promise to you, the Department of War has released the first trench of the UFO/UAP files to the public for their review and study. In an effort for complete and maximum transparency, it was my honor to direct my administration to identify and provide government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects. Whereas previous administrations have failed to be transparent on this subject, with these new documents and videos, the people can decide for themselves what is going on. Have fun and enjoy, President Donald J. Trump. The Department of War has an entire webpage dedicated to this at war.gov/UFO. Mainly what is posted here is still images and videos of unidentified flying objects. No direct evidence of them saying extraterrestrials exist or something along these lines. It is just videos and pictures, and like Trump said, it's for the public to come to conclusions on their own. And like I mentioned earlier, this is just the first release of the UFO files. There is more to come.
You know, we need to figure these things out, and any person should be filled with curiosity when seeing all these files. There will be more released every week or so. We heard that there will be weekly installments, so this is really the very first installment, and my guess is that the more interesting documents, information, videos will be released in future weeks, because they take more time for the declassification process to allow us to see them. And in particular, the 46 videos that were requested by Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna that hopefully will come out in the next batch of releases.
Now let's take a look at what Fox News posted about this on Breaking Trump Releases UFO Alien Life Files. They showed quite a few of the videos that were released.
This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not, and we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022, moving bottom left to top right of the field of view. All CENTCOM gets from this is an area of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report. Next video, over the skies of Greece, October 2023, what is described as a small and circular UAP flying near the surface of the ocean towards land. CENTCOM can't tell us what it is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. Within the last 2 minutes, all of these videos have gone live on war.gov/UFO, and a White House official tells Fox First, while past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files. And there's also a fresh look at some historical records. There's this from Apollo 17 included in this big document dump. One of the astronauts says, we've got a few very bright particles or fragments or something that go drifting by as we maneuver. The control center says, Roger, understood. Another astronaut says, there's a whole bunch of big ones on my window down there, just bright. It looks like the 4th of July out of Ron's window. Another astronaut says, yes, now you can see some of them in shape. They're very jagged, angular fragments that are tumbling. This exchange has long been dismissed as floating insulation. But now the White House is saying, while this photo has been previously released and discussed by keen observers, there is no consensus about the nature of the anomaly.
Now, this is one of the videos that the Pentagon has released in these files, and they're saying it looks like an 8-pointed star. And I knew immediately when I saw this that people are going to start to say, this is an Ophanim angel. It looks like wheels within wheels. And it is interesting that it has that representation. But I've covered this quite a few times on my channel, showing that Ophanim angels are not just a UFO that floats around in the sky. It is a throne room entity that is always surrounding, protecting, defending, maybe not protecting per se, but it is always there, watching and worshiping God. This is not just something that floats around in the sky. The reason that it looks like this, who knows exactly why, but please be on alert when people start to say these are angels or these are Ophanim angels. They are not. This is some sort of manifestation, and I fully believe these things are evil. All the evidence points to that. When people have interactions with the lights, with the entities associated with them, it always causes fear with the people. And for the very few that it doesn't, no surprise, because Satan masquerades as an angel of light. But I just want to reiterate one more time, Ophanim angels, wheels within wheels, like mentioned in the book of Ezekiel, are always connected to God's throne, and only maybe 3 times in history has that ever been documented, and it is an extremely rare occurrence, always associated with God on his throne, like described in great detail in the book of Ezekiel. Now here we'll take a quick listen of Dr. Avi Loeb talking about these things and already setting the stage, saying we are not alone in the universe. We're probably not even the top of the food chain.
In your vast knowledge and expertise, you don't believe that we're the only carbon-based life forms in the entire universe, do you?
Not at all. I don't even think that we are at the top of the food chain. You know, the Milky Way galaxy is full of 100 billion stars like the sun, and about 10% of them have a planet roughly the size of the Earth at roughly the same separation. So it would be arrogant of us to assume that we are unique and special, and most of the stars formed billions of years before the sun. So there was plenty of time for even a spacecraft like Voyager that was sent out of the solar system 50 years ago. Even for that, to cross the entire Milky Way galaxy, it takes about 1 billion years. There was plenty of time for other civilizations that predated us to reach to our backyard. So I think it should be treated as an experimental, observational task for us to figure out if we are being visited. And if we are visited, of course, that would inspire us to visit the backyard of the senders of these probes.
I fully believe that this will be part of a massive deception, leading people away from the biblical creation story and setting up a scenario that there is more intelligent, more powerful entities in our universe. And while yes, there are more powerful entities in our universe, but they are not extraterrestrials from other planets. We'll look at that in just a moment.
Well, there's something out there, and former U.S. Marine Michael Herrera has seen it. In 2009, while stationed in Indonesia, Herrera's battalion was assisting with humanitarian operations, providing security for supply drops to the locals. Once there, he saw a rotating object changing colors and emitting a humming sound. After failing to reach his battalion leader, he moved in to investigate and began filming with a small camera, but moments later, Herrera says he was ambushed by men in black as the craft shot towards the ocean at lightning speed without making a sound. Once back at camp, he checked his camera only to find the battery and memory card were gone.
Yeah, so when we got back to, it was in Subic Bay in the Philippines, and that's when we were on Liberty. So we ended up having the first night. It came back to on ship, and my camera was on my rack. So the memory card and the battery were taken out of that.
Did you see it taken out by someone?
No, I did not. No, I had it secured in my locker, of course. Okay, and another battery that I had for a backup, so I popped that one in. Nothing happened with that camera. So Subsequently, after we got back to Camp Hansen, there was an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel that met up with us and some of the guys that were with me and basically made us forcefully sign a non-disclosure agreement and a TSSI document that stated that we couldn't talk about what we saw. We were threatened with treason, with a capital crime, including death or imprisonment.
I've said these Bible verses that I believe describe this phenomenon quite a few times, but I'll leave you with this and let you discern for yourself what the Word of God is saying about the powers of the forces that are at work in our reality and in our world and in the universe, just in all of existence. Ephesians 6:12 does the best job describing this. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Also in the book of Ephesians, Satan is the prince of the power of the air. We're also told that Satan masquerades as an angel of light. Many people believe these things are good. They're here to help us. They're here to be some sort of good force. That is not true at all. When we look at the evil that these things do to people that have interactions with them and how it constantly, always, in almost every situation, leads people into a life of following New Age spirituality to try to contact these things through CE5 research, psionics, and other New Age spiritual practices like meditation and other things along these lines. This is a pretty big deal that these things were to exist. If God were to put this in creation, I'm pretty sure it would be documented somewhere in the Bible or in the history of the people who lived having encounters with these things. But no, it is starting to happen more and being released in the times we are in now. I believe because of the great deceptions that are told to us that are coming, such as the Antichrist coming with all power signs and lying wonders, or the demonic spirits that go out of the beast in the book of Revelation that perform signs to deceive the kings of the earth. This could even be part of the great falling away, people turning away from God because he didn't mention this in the creation story. They're more powerful. What are they going to teach humanity when they come and land and tell us whatever they believe? That could be part of the great falling away, and it fits in with 2 Corinthians 10:4-5 very well. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. And I believe when people start to think that these things are real from other planets bigger than us, not mentioned in the Bible, that this is a high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God and his creation of us and our place in his creation.